wasn't there when the band first started writing. They started writing around August of last year.
What Jonathan and I had done on the Path of Totality was, you know, really kind of throw everything out of the window, what we had done in the past, and adopt this sort of new, embrace this new electronic vibe, and bringing those elements back in with a guitar-driven album was completely satisfying for me because, you know, Brian and I are both metalheads.
When I came back, I was like, I want it to be a rock record. I want it to be a guitar-driven record, and I want it to be the record that we can all be proud of.
I was detoxing off this medication that I had been on for 3 years, and stuff's harder to kick than heroin, so I went through a lot of crazy stuff there. And then the other thing was my youngest, Zeppelin, got diagnosed with juvenile diabetes. So I was going through that shift and total lifestyle change, taking care of a diabetic child.
The Korn sound had definitely changed since I left. It went from, you know, being a majority like a metal rock sound to, you know, they had an industrial album, like the Untitled album was that, and they worked with different producers like The Matrix, and they had done a dubstep album, so they were all over the place.
That's what it came down to, was the mix and how much of these new electronics we wanted to include, and about balancing and compromising, and that's what it is to be in a band, you know.
I was a fan of like at least something on each album, you know, at least a few songs on each album because I had checked it out.
Having Brian back in the band, he's great at writing melodies, and when I come up with a chord progression or a riff, he can interweave melodies through pretty much anything I write. And then when Jonathan gets a hold of it, it takes it to a whole nother level.
I finally got it together and got everything good, and I moved in the studio around February and started working on the album around March. And they had wrote a lot of music already, and I came in and got with Don, and that's when we first started going through the songs and weeding out the ones I liked, the ones I didn't like. And I wrote some songs too, and worked my ass off for about a month on it.
I'm never gonna love again, never gonna have to try to pretend, never.